Well, it's Homebrew Wednesday 46, I think, and it's been a manic weekend of bottling, as you can see. No, it's not Mexican craft beer. Just liberated the holders from work. We've got 12 bottles of my raspberry beer, and over here we've got my cherry, some of me pumpkin, and the bov ale. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 cases of beer. Some of that's the old stuff that needs disposing of, but we've got the two down the bottom, which are my Finlander Winter Ale. Then there's my IPA up there in 2 cases, and some over there. And the winter ale with the extra malt extract and the spices as well. And I've got my Brew Firm Belgian triple still aging down the bottom. So it took a wee while to get those bottles all prepped and get 4 batches of beer transferred into all them. Ooh, I can't wait for gas. Yeah, gas for kegging. Definitely something that would be nice, just to put that pipe straight into a keg rather than all those bottles. It's not so much the bottling, it's the getting all the bottles ready to bottle. I'm pretty well sorted now with you know, the little bottler and a bench mounted bottle capper, which certainly does make things easier. Certainly on that scale you can. It's a little bit more awkward with some of those because there's different size bottles, because I've used some English ale bottles because I want to put some of those aside for beer mails in the new year. And hopefully they'll well, I've got another 2 weeks to Christmas, so I've done them just this weekend gone, so haven't tried any more Finland ale. I've had some commercial ale still to keep me supplied, and haven't hit me other ones I got from Elgoods. Haven't really done much else. I'm back in full time again this week, as it's absolutely manic at work at the minute. We are literally being rinsed of beer. It's like one of those scenes when the hurricane's coming and everyone goes crazy in the supermarket, and news crews go into the supermarket and the shelves are stripped bare and there's just a few tins and stuff that no one wanted. And our shop is getting a bit like that. Yesterday we had to bring an Arctic in to take 28 pallets of packages for beer mails. It was just over 650 orders from the weekend going out Monday, and I think there's another 200 and something today. And I've spent all day lifting those size crates that you just see up on the shelves, stocking German for folks in the shop, and pulling everything off the bench, off the warehouse racking to keep the crew in the shop supplied, because they're just going crazy this year. They say there's no money about them. People still want to get pissed, no matter how poor they are. Anyway, that's pretty much it, because I have been busy at work, busy bottling, so I haven't really thought pretty much about anything else. Time wise, sort of things went a bit awry over the weekend, so not everything got done that I wanted to do. I wanted to get the new longer length of gas pipe out and get that set up for the burner to do the all grain batches in the new year. And obviously we don't shut for Christmas, our place, so we literally just close down for the Christmas Day, Boxing Day, so I don't know what my work schedule will be. Seems I'm part-time, but whether I can get some downtime and get a few jobs done, but there are other sort of priorities in the house at the minute. Anyway, we've got Bill of 1983, who was kind enough to send me 6 bottles, as I mentioned last week. So we'll crack open the first one. I know a couple of them want a little more time in the bottle. But the first one I've got, as soon as my wife keeps chomping at the bit because she's thirsty. So we're going to try the chocolate stout. In brackets, I hope, no label on the crown cap, so it could be something else. But I have put the bottle up to the ceiling light and you can't see nothing through, so it's a dark beer of some description. While I'm got a good hiss, plenty of smoke pouring out. Smell the malts. It's black, so it looks like a stout. Well carved. If this takes too long, I'll edit this bit out. But the wifey wants to try some as well, so I've got her a glass. Whoa. Good stout, always has a good head. Let's see what she thinks. Here's a drink there.
Oh, cheers. I love the little glass.
Camera's on, you know.
What? I'm not recording that.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Well, I'm not drinking the head.
Not getting any chocolate yet. Better pour a real one. I don't know what kit this was. Whether it's a Cooper's or a Young's or a Wilco's. Give it that. Give it the swill at the bottom. There is a little bit of bitterness there with the gas. Not quite as stringency, but it does seem to be not dissimilar to the kit I'd done. It's sort of a twang. It's quite feels quite fizzy on the tongue actually. Head starting to die back.
It's very nice.
Very nice, she says. Do you want a refill? Yeah. So I've got, oh now, getting a little bit of chocolate flavour coming through now. You have to tell me whether you just put it on some cocoa nibs or added some chocolate in there or chocolate essence. I think I bought. Yeah, I did try that, but didn't really. If I put two drops in each bottle, but it wasn't enough to bring any flavours through. But yeah, for those of you in the UK, you know, or some of you that follow me on Facebook, I think it was Thursday night, we had the big swell of the storm surge come in, and basically the whole north coast of the UK got hit, and so did the area we live near. We got away. Local bridges were all shut by the police and the Environment Agency, and the river did come to such a point where it did start flooding over and coming up by the expansion joints of the bridges. So it was just localised flooding, nothing major around our way. A little bit of the town got hit, and the other towns around the coast and the wash. Obviously, if some of you watch the news, you know the people on the North Norfolk coast got hit fairly bad. A lot of beach homes are a little bit closer to the beach than they intended, and at a different angle than you'd normally have a home. So unfortunately those people have lost their homes, because some of them are holiday homes, some of the people live in those areas, and if you live in those areas they won't insure you, so they've basically lost everything. But, yeah, fortunately round this way flood defences are in place, so we didn't sort of get the tidal swell was as high as it was, or a little bit higher than it was in the 53 floods, but obviously improvements have been made since then. So we went out and had a little look, but obviously pitch black, so we didn't get any dramatic footage. But yeah, just on my Facebook there, I think I've picked up a few extra subscribers through that, and Hbw. I'm on Hbw as well as Facebook now. I've transferred it to the other computer because the other one is just so painfully slow. But yeah, there's quite a few of the brew tubers that are on there. So cheers to all you guys that have friended me and or accepted my friend's request. Those of you who follow me Facebook obviously got the heads up on the nightmare scenario on the beer. And we are currently at 263 subscribers. I was hanging around the 250 mark for quite a while, and then dropping down to 248, then going to 251, then 249, which I think there's a lot of the pre-Google fuck-up, closing old accounts that were inactive and things like that. So it did affect a few people's subscriber figures. It seems to have stabilised now and slowly crept up. So cheers to all those that sub, and the new subbers, and the people who like, subscribe and comment. And if you need an atta, you can catch me on the old face pack or on Hbw. That's normally on the same system as well, so we're usually about, if during non-working hours. Yeah, Grant, it's going down nice, mate. Feels a little bit fizzy for a stout, but I'd like to know what you done and what kit it was. Probably on your channel it does say, but it's still holding the head. There's enough carbonation up there to keep the cap on there, so there's not a little bit of clinging to the glass, but not really a lot there. But I think this was a kit brew, so you can taste it. A sort of kit twang. I don't know whether it was the kit yeasts that cause that twang, or whether it's kits just sitting in cans. But I think everyone sort of refers to a kit twang. Some people seem to be able to eliminate it. It does seem not to be as noticeable if you add extra grains, steep some grains, and it eliminates that sort of, oh, it's a kit taste to it. I've always suspected it might be the yeasts, but having said that, I have used normal yeasts on kits and then saved the kit yeasts for other little experiments, and they've still worked well. I used them on those malt extract experiments, and the raspberry and cherry I used the Potter's malt extract, which is 650 grams. I think they're about £3 something to £2.97, some round about that. They're from Holland and Barrett. But the trial jar samples on all brews were quite pleasant, so considering obviously drinking flat beer, so I'm keeping my fingers crossed that they're going to come out okay. The cherry hasn't got an awful lot of flavour. There is a bitterness to it, not quite the same as you'd get with a conventional lambic cherry beer. The raspberry seems a lot more flavoured, and I used a tin of Tesco's raspberries in syrup and the Melina Polish raspberry juice. I haven't been able to track down. They do a cherry and a black cherry. I know Christian Brew Beer has managed to track down the other ones, but looks like my local Tesco's have stopped selling them. We've just got a new Tesco's built that's bigger and better, and they seem to not stock some of the Eastern European stuff that they did. Maybe it didn't sell very well. We have got a specialist East European supermarket in the town, which I might check out, but I'd have to wear my tracksuit and shave my head first so I look like a local. But we'll see how these ones come out first. I don't know about the Morello cherries, whether they're still in Aldi's, if anyone's been in there. I haven't. Well, there is one in the town, but it's not local to me, so you've got to make a purposeful journey to get over there. But if they've still got the cherries, I'll definitely buy some to keep back for future brews. But yeah, hopefully they'll come out okay. If they pass the Norfolk's Taste Test Challenge, then they'll be packaged up in some future beer mails to see what they compare. I know some of the guys had Brewmaster Ben's Framboos Brew Firm kit, which I know their cherry one, their Krieg, is ridiculously expensive, and I've seen the trade price of it, and it's ridiculously expensive. It's significantly more expensive than their other ones, and the Framboos is slightly dearer than the rest of the kits. I mean, they are good quality kits, even though they do brew only 9, I think 9, depending on the kit, 9 and 12 litres, but they are good kits. But if you want quality, you have to pay for it, I guess. But yeah, the Krieg does seem extremely expensive considering this just cherries. Maybe cherries are expensive in Belgium, I don't know. But if this is a cheap way of doing it, certainly the raspberry I've brewed is more flavoursome than the Framboos Brew Firm kit was. I'll have to have a look back and see who Ben sent them out to, and if these do come out alright, maybe I'll send a few out for comparison. So it was obviously quite cheap and simple to make a gallon batch of that up. I've used a little it's not one of them, but I've used the small bottles like you get the supermarket lagers in, or the Belgian 330 bottles, and the 25 millilitre bottles, just to keep the batch small but still get enough bottles, because you don't sort of generally drink a pint of that stuff. They should be around about 5-6% mark on the cherry and the raspberry. So looking forward to that. The mead's still sitting in its secondary, slowly clearing, not a lot of activity, nothing happened on the airlock now, so we'll have to wait and see what happens with that before we change it over to the third for aging. I'm not too worried about it. I'm going to let it sit, so once it goes into the next demi-john, we'll shove it in a box and forget about it. See what it comes out like. But should be reasonably potent, because it took the hydrometer off the scale until I poured a little bit more honey and water in, rinsed out the last jar. That took it down to the top reading on a Stevenson hydrometer. Wait, I can't remember what that was now, about 14%, something like that. Anyway, I'm waffling as I usually do. Not a lot else to tell you. No more bargains on the eBay front or anything else I've sniffed out. So I'll leave you enjoy the remaining Homebrew Wednesday videos you guys watch. Cheers to Grant for the stout. It is a stout. Don't know whether it's the chocolate stout, but it is a stout, and it's enjoyable. So before I ramble on for another 5 minutes, I'll get the handset and say goodbye. Oh, and DJ, if you're watching the end, let me know what these Mexican craft beers are like. I don't know whether you've tried them. They say they're Mexican craft beers, but they're actually made by Mexicali. There's the DOA, IPA. We've got them all, haven't we? There's about 8 different brews. Let me know what they're like, because if not, I'll have to find out myself and buy them all. Alright guys, cheers, I'm out of here, goodbye.